The exit is so close, but it seems so far away because of all these random encounters. Oh, I was about to say, if I can make it to the exit without encountering anything, then that'd be great, but it looks like the game won't let me have that. Well, I am grateful for one thing. At least I didn't encounter any shiny Pokemon while I was escorting Buck through Stark Mountain, because had that happened, then I don't think there would be any way I can catch it, because, as you know, Buck is an AI trainer, so, yeah, the game doesn't know that you're trying to capture a shiny Pokemon while you're accompanying someone, and that trainer is going to end up killing the shiny Pokemon that you want to capture. Oh shit, is that a shiny? Oh, wow, and I was just talking about one. Okay, I don't know if this is a coincidence or not, but okay, I'll gladly take a shiny Torkoal. Okay, I just gotta go with Gastrodon to put this thing to sleep. Now, I do have Dusk Balls, but do I have any Repeat Balls? Because I seem to recall capturing a Torkoal off-screen. Okay, going for Amnesia, but it doesn't matter because I'm only going to use Yawn, and that's it. I don't think I'm going to attack this thing since anything I do, actually, maybe not because, well, I don't think Ice Beam's going to one-shot this thing, but Surf, well, even with the Sun outs, I'm not feeling confident that this Torkoal will survive a powered-down Surf. Just being very cautious. You know what, just in case this thing goes for Eruption again, I might as well go with Recover so that way Eruption won't kill me. Yeah, since the Sun's out, that means Eruption's going to get powered up. Okay, there we go. It goes for Eruption again. Once again, good thing Recover comes in handy. Okay, after the sunlight shines, Torkoal's going to fall asleep, and that's going to give me the opportunity to catch it. Okay, do I have any Repeat Balls? I have one. You know what? Screw the Repeat Ball. I'm just going to use the Dust Ball, and hopefully Torkoal gets captured. 1, 2, 3. Alright, Torkoal has been captured. I don't know what number of shiny Pokemon this is. I kind of lost count because, yeah, I've encountered a lot of these things over the course of this game, so yeah, I completely forgot at this point. Well, I guess the game wanted to reward me for being so patient, so yeah, I guess I'll take that prize, even though I've said countless times that Torkoal is not a very good Pokemon, but in this case, who am I to say that is shiny? So yeah, I might as well capture that Torkoal while I have the opportunity to do so. Okay, hopefully this Rhydon is the last thing I fight in here because I really want to get out of here. Okay, hopefully no more random encounters on the way to the exit. Okay, at least Cresselia gains a level. Okay, hopefully no more random encounters. Aw, man. Well, I guess the game wants to give me one more Pokemon for the roads. Well, okay then, the more experience points I have, the better. Okay, but at least it's a Golbat, so that means I can one-shot this thing, no problem. Had it been something else like, say, Magcargo or Torkoal, then it would be a little bit different. Okay, with that, we're finally out of here. But as I said before, I'm coming back here later on to capture Groudon. Oh wow, the ashes look so pretty when it's nighttime. Anyway, what I'm going to do next is, as I said before, I'm going to give Heatran its respective moves and grind it up a bit. So, I'll see you later. Hello everyone. Heatran is at level 87 and it knows the moves Flamethrower, Flash Cannon, Earth Power, and Dark Pulse. So I'm here at the Jubilife Pokemon Center because now that I caught Heatran, I can now take on the final lineups of the trainers at the Pokemon Centers. Now if things look a bit different to you, it should because for the first time ever, I'm doing post-commentary and it'll be that way until the end of this video. So for those of you who don't know what post-commentary is, allow me to explain. So what you're seeing right now, I recorded it already, and now I'm just adding in the commentary. So I'm doing post-commentary because there are a lot of cuts in this one since I'm going to various Pokemon Centers to fight the trainers that are there on certain days. So I wouldn't be able to do live commentary if I were to cut the video every 1 to 2 minutes. Well, except for the current battle that I'm doing since I fight the Carrier Band immediately after the reporter. Now, if you want to know which trainer appears in which Pokemon Center on a certain day, I'll put a link in the movie description in case you're interested. Now, if you're playing Diamond and Pearl, these fights would take place in the Dupe Life TV station, but the problem is, their levels won't increase at all. Although, in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I heard some people had problems with these battles, mostly because of the levels. So, when you encounter these guys for the first time, their levels range from 15 to 17, and odds are, your Pokemon's levels are like that as well. But to me, it all depends on what moves the opposing team has. Personally, I never had a problem with those battles when I played Brilliant Diamond, mostly because my levels were slightly higher than theirs. However, when I played Diamond all those years ago, I actually had no idea that those battles were even in there. I mean, one time I just randomly walked into the TV station, talked to everyone, and all of a sudden, I'm thrown into a battle. But don't worry, because at that time, it was the post-game, so that means my levels were a lot higher than the ones I was facing. So, yeah, I didn't have any problems with those battles at all. Now, in addition to training up Heatran, I did a lot of things off-screen. Mainly leveling up the Pokemon in my PC in order to complete the Pokédex. I currently have 438 species of Pokemon obtained, but I've only seen 482 species of Pokemon, which means I need to see 11 more Pokemon. Mainly the Pokemon I've mentioned last video. Oh yeah, here I switched out Heatran because, well, I wasn't very confident that it could take down a Machamp in one hit because we're talking about a fully evolved Pokemon, and if Machamp survived the Flamethrower, then it's possible that Heatran could take a fighting type move to the face, and I don't want that to happen. So I decided to play it safe and go with Cresselia. And it worked out just fine because Psychic one-shotted it. Now let me tell you, trying to complete the Pokédex is no easy task. Mostly because of the Pokemon I was trying to encounter and evolve. 3 in particular: Wurmple, Combee, and Baneri. So off-screen, I caught 2 Wurmples in hopes that one of them will evolve into Cascoon, and the other one will evolve into Silcoon. But much to my dismay, the Wurmple I wanted to evolve into Silcoon evolved into a Cascoon instead. Oh man, this takes me back to my days of playing Sapphire all those years ago where I wanted to use a Beautifly on my team, but all the Wurmples I captured evolved into Cascoon. Gee, it's as if the game didn't want me to have a Beautifly on my team. Well, anyway, eventually I caught another Wurmple, and that one evolved into Silcoon. So currently, I have a Beautifly in my PC. And for Combee, well, I spent quite a while trying to find a female Combee because for some reason I kept on encountering male Combees. And eventually, I was really getting mad because, well, I don't know what's the encounter rate for encountering a female Combee because, well, I don't really use Vespiquen all that much. But after several hours, I managed to find myself a female Combee. Also, I found a Heracross as well, for the first time in my life. Wish I could have showed you, but yeah, I was busy doing something else. And as for Baneri, well, encountering it, I didn't have any problems encountering a Baneri at all. But evolving that thing, oh boy. Evolving that thing is hard as hell, because when you encounter and capture a Baneri, its base happiness is at 0, and you really gotta raise its happiness so that way it'll evolve into Lopunny. Yeah, I believe when I was trying to evolve my Baneri, I believe it was at level 50 already. And, well, I tried checking its happiness on the Friendship Checker app on my Pokédex. And, yeah, something tells me maybe it was kind of close to max happiness, but at the same time, it was kind of hard to tell. But eventually, the Baneri I had evolved into Lopunny, so, yeah, that was one of the hardest things I ever done in a Pokemon game. Trying to evolve Baneri into Lopunny. Oh yes, you know how I said some Pokemon in this game could learn moves that you would never expect them to learn? Well, I just witnessed something like that. So apparently in this game, Sentra is able to learn Flame Wheel. Yeah, when I was leveling it up, I saw that it wanted to learn Flame Wheel, and that caught me completely off guard. I mean, yeah, sure, something like Renegade could learn Flame Wheel because that's one of its egg moves. But still, I never expected Sentra of all things to want to learn a move like Flame Wheel. I mean, coming from someone who has used Sentra before as a team member, yeah, that caught me completely off guard. And yes, I did just say that I used Sentra before as a team member. But that was a very long time ago. Now, if you remember, I have the Magma Stone on me, which I'm supposed to give to Steven, but I'm not going to give it to him quite yet, because if I do that right now, then the only legendaries I can go after right now are Latios and Latias. And for the Regis, Well, I haven't been to that one area of Route 228 where Regirock's cave is yet. So since I'm slowly approaching the end of the game, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fight the trainers on routes 230, 229, and 228, as well as visit the Ribbon Syndicate because, yeah, I haven't done that yet. And only then give the Magma Stone to Steven, because I don't want to catch a few legendaries and then leave the rest for later. I want to catch them one after the other. Anyway, we're less than a week away from Pokemon Day, and people are already predicting what we're going to see in the Pokemon Presents video. Well, the only prediction I can make are the starters for Legend ZA being revealed, and also the release date for said game. And also, when the starters get revealed, I'm also wondering, are those starters going to get Mega Evolutions? If so, then that would be great, but it all depends on what Pokemon they're going to show us, because it could be just about anything. I mean, looking back at Legends Arceus, 3 random starter Pokemon were picked, and eventually they all got Hisuian form. So I wouldn't be surprised if it were to be the same thing in Legends ZA, but the only difference is those starters will get Mega Evolved forms instead of regional variants. And I'm especially excited for the release date, because not only will we know when the game's coming out, but there could also be some more information about Legend ZA, which I'm sure people will look forward to. So whatever we're going to see in the Pokemon Presents video, hopefully it's enough to satisfy people, because we've been kept in the dark for way too long, and to me, that's not like Nintendo and Game Freak to keep us in the dark for so long. Now coming back to my adventures of encountering and evolving certain Pokemon. There was one other Pokemon that was hard to encounter and kind of tricky to evolve. And that Pokemon is Tyrogue. And the only place in the game where I can find Tyrogue is on Route 211. Plus I had to use the freaking Poké Radar to find that thing. 3 of them, I might add, because there's no place in the game where you can encounter the 3 Hitmons. Now, as I said, trying to evolve Tyrogue into one of the Hitmons is kind of tricky because, believe it or not, I actually had to buy some vitamins so that way I could modify Tyrogue's attack or defense, that way I could evolve it into the Hitmon that I wanted to evolve into. It was especially tricky to evolve Tyrogue into Hitmontop because I had to make sure that its attack and defense were equal, otherwise it would evolve into either Hitmonchan or Hitmonlee. So yeah, if the circumstances were different, then maybe it's possible that I can find Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan in the wild, but unfortunately that's not the case. So I had no choice. I had to capture 3 Tyrogues and evolve them into one of the 3 Hitmons. Now, there are some Pokemon that I haven't registered in my Pokedex yet, and that's because I'm going to use them for that side quest involving Arceus, and I especially want to be sure that their stats are good in order to avoid a potential tragedy. What do I mean by that? Well, you'll see once I eventually do that side quest, which won't be for quite some time. Now, some of the Pokemon I haven't registered in my Pokedex, let's see, they consist of Anorith, Lileep, Breloom, and some other Pokemon that I can't think of off the top of my head right now. Well, Lileep especially because, yeah, I am going to use a Cradily for that side quest involving Arceus. You'll see once I eventually do that. Oh yeah, this Alakazam, this thing's pretty fast, and as you can see right there, it uses substitutes, that means it's not going to take damage from my Dark Pulse. And since it's fast, that means it's going to get a hit on me, in the form of Aura Sphere. But luckily for me, I'm at a higher level than it, and also I gave Heatran some special defense EV so that way it could take special hits like that. So yeah, I'm not worried that Aura Sphere will do a lot of damage to Heatran. As for defense EVs, well, I don't quite recall if I ever gave Heatran some defense EVs. If I did, then maybe I could have used Flamethrower on that Machamp, but I didn't want to take the risk because we're talking about a fighting type move from Machamp, and as you know, Machamp has stab on fighting moves. Okay, that's going to be it for today, so next time, we're going to move on to bigger and better things. See you next time.